still grows. Some strangers to you and me.
You top of your helmet. Every moment. This is our game.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to the All Sports Focus podcast. We are back here with the second episode of ASF Hoops, talking college basketball. We got Pap, Garrett, and Ryan here today. Say what's up.
What's up?
What's up?
So we're going to be talking week 15 of college basketball, finally getting into the swing of middle February, getting close to March. Bracketology is going absolutely crazy. It's getting to be that time of year. Super Bowl's done with now, so it's officially college basketball time. So we're recording this Tuesday night, so obviously the games that just happened. Kentucky just got a huge sweep win over Tennessee, another top 10 matchup. Auburn kind of kept it close with Vandy, but they got the win there. Florida should have beat Mississippi State by like 30. They kept it close for some reason. But Alex Condon did go down for Florida in the first minute of the game. Pretty nasty-looking injury. They're starting center, so keep an eye on that. And then, as I was saying before we started recording here, Pap picked the big, I wouldn't say upset, but the only one of the five of us to pick Michigan to beat Purdue in Ann Arbor. So there's a little highlight of the games that just finished. Arizona's in a little bit of a battle with Kansas State right now. Keep an eye on that. Kansas State's trying to play their way into the tournament. I think they have a chance. But the big games obviously are this Saturday, and we need to hop right into probably the game of the year so far. In-state battle of the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the country. Garrett Collins' own Alabama Crimson Tide hosting the Auburn Tigers at 4 p.m. on Saturday. It's going to be a battle. I mean, that is going to be a good old-fashioned SEC battle. Garrett, I'll let you start off. What does Alabama need to do to win that game over Auburn?
Ooh. I mean, ultimately, it's going to come down to outscoring Auburn because, I mean, they're both high-powered offenses. So if Alabama can knock those if they can get consistent with the three ball, I feel like they have a shot. But they're just going to outscore Auburn, honestly. It's going to be a dogfight coming down to defense because, I mean, sometimes Alabama's defense is a little wish-washy, but, you know, it comes down to that defensive, and if they can get some stops, man, Alabama could they could pull away. It's going to be a dogfight, and I believe it's going to be a close one. So hopefully if Alabama can just outscore them, they'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm. So, Pap, you picked Auburn to win. You're on my side of things here. We picked Auburn. Unfortunately, sorry, Garrett. But
It's okay, I see it.
Pap, so what do you think about Auburn? Is it going to be a Janai Broom heavy case of feed him the rock as many times as possible, or what are you thinking?
So I was just about to say something about that guy. So I haven't watched Auburn basketball all year. Turned on the game last week, and I was just kept watching. Then I was like, who the F is number 4? This guy is just dominating. Reminding myself, just boom, just scoring relentlessly. And I was just like, I like this guy a lot. And then I like watching him so much that I actually ended up tuning in. I think I saw his senior high school highlights. Like, it was long, deep down. I went deep down to watch this guy. And just watching him, I was just like, Auburn's my team now. So I can't fade him the rest of the season. Notre Dame sucks, so Auburn's my team.
Auburn's my team. The fact you didn't know who he was when he's leading the voting for the Wooden Award is a little sad, but at least I'm glad you know now. I know. You're going to have to start, too. I'm going to force you.
Well, March Madness.
Yeah. There's no other sports on right now besides the NHL and the NBA, but who gives a rat's ass about the NBA till the playoffs? Yeah,
I'll start tuning in.
Yeah. So, Ryan, you're the last one to really talk here. You've got Alabama, so I'll let you kind of piggyback off what Garrett said. What do you think that Alabama needs to do to win this game?
I think you have to play into Alabama style of basketball, which is win 125 to 120. You've got to just force Auburn to miss a couple of shots, and you've got to be lights out from three. And I feel like Alabama has the ability to run and score with anybody, and I just see Auburn in one of their first real tough tests. I think they dropped the game in the same way that they lost to Duke, right? Was the other one that they
Yeah.
lost?
That's their only loss, I believe. One of their two, besides Florida.
So I think that, like I said, Alabama's got to just win 125 to 120, and I think the offense gets it done on Saturday.
All right. And I picked Auburn. I like what Pap said was basically just you got to feed Janai Broome. He's your best player for a reason. It should be a good matchup though. Clifford, or I don't even know how to say his last name. Amaru, I don't know, the dude from Rutgers who was just an absolute tank on the boards and in the paint. So I mean, it's going to be a good matchup. All right, switching conferences here to the Big Ten, a top basically 15 matchup with Wisconsin and Purdue. Purdue obviously lost the game today, but a battle atop the Big Ten, kind of a little bit of a battle, about a 4 or 5 team battle with Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, and Illinois for that Big Ten race. Michigan is actually in first place right now with this win tonight over Purdue. But Wisconsin has been on the up. They've been playing some good basketball. And we all picked Purdue to win against Wisconsin, but not really much to say about this one. But I just think I think there's a chance Wisconsin can pull it out. On the road, it'll be tough, but I wouldn't count it out. But here's the more important game. At the same time, actually an hour later, is Houston traveling to Arizona for a nice Big 12 matchup on Saturday. I mean, these conferences just so good, like honestly all of them, that it's like college football with these big conferences now. There's going to be good games every weekend, multiple of them. So Arizona's been on the come up, but like I said, they're struggling right now on a Tuesday night. But I actually like Arizona to get the job done here at home against Houston. Houston is a damn good team. They're a very good defensive team, like every Kelvin Sampson team is. But the one Houston game I watched this year is when they choked in overtime to Texas Tech. And I thought back to that game where they just could not play offense. And I think Arizona's offense is just flat out going to outplay them when it comes down to it. So that's why I picked Arizona. Ryan, why did you pick who you picked? Let me look. You picked Houston, I believe. No, you picked Arizona as well, Ryan. You're the other one who picked Arizona. So let's hear what you have to say.
I think Caleb Love, who's in his 17th season of college basketball at his 15th school, I think the experience there, at the end of the day, we always talk about college basketball, you're going to win with a really good guard. And I think Arizona has that in Caleb Love, and I think in this game, especially at home, Caleb Love gets the job done. You see a standout performance from him, keeps the crowd into it there in Arizona, and just forces Houston off their game. Houston's going to rely more on defense, so if they're not getting stops, they're not turning it into offense. And I trust that if they're not able to get turnovers and get out running in transition, that Houston's not going to be able to outscore Arizona.
All right. And then, Garrett, what do you think? Because you picked Houston here, so flip side of it, and Pap as well. What do you think Houston needs to do to get the job done on the road against Arizona?
Defense, like you said. I mean, they're known for their defensive, schemes and stuff like that. So I believe, if they come out there playing some good D, they got a chance. Like Ron said, I mean, Caleb Love has been in his 17th season for 17 years now, but he hasn't freaking left college. He might never actually. So I mean, if they can shut him down, because he's a good scorer. I mean, he's a good player. If he can shut them down, some other key players that they have, I believe they can get it done. They're an experienced team, great coaching. So I feel like they just they can find a way on the road.
Pap, what do you think? Do you agree with Garrett?
Yeah, just defense. I mean, they don't really have like a main scorer. They got 4 guys in double-digit points per game. So I could see this just going just like close game. Might come down to the wire, but I think Houston pulls away with just good defense and hopefully just they just got to score. I mean, sometimes that could be an issue for them, and then like their defense obviously can't fall apart because their scoring can sometimes be an issue. So if they just kind of play both sides of basketball, they should be fine.
All right. Well, sorry. There's actually 2 more games. I really jumped the gun there. Another in-state battle in the SEC. We got Mississippi State traveling to Ole Miss. The Battle of Mississippi. Watching Kentucky's game against Ole Miss last week, Ole Miss is legit. I mean, they ran Kentucky up and down the freaking court. They did whatever they wanted on the offensive end. I mean, they're nasty. And their center, I mean, he's built like a freaking middle linebacker, and his jump shot, I don't know if you guys have seen it, is the funniest thing in the world. He does not jump. Both of his feet are planted, and he shoots a free throw from the 3-point line, and he's still shooting. I think he's like high 30s, which is ridiculous. But I mean, Mississippi State is a team where, I mean, they were right on the cusp of like top 10 for basically the entire first, I would say 12, 13 weeks of the season. And they've really dropped off. I mean, like I said earlier, they should have gotten blown out by Florida earlier tonight. They got absolutely walloped by Missouri on Saturday. Or was that that was 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, they're really trending downhill, and it's not looking good for them. And Ole Miss is on the exact opposite. They're on the come up, and they're battling. Ole Miss should be right on that. They're in that 3-2 seed line when it's going to come to bracket day. And I think I like Ole Miss to win by a lot here. I don't know what the spread is, if it's even been released yet, but I like Ole Miss here by a lot, even though we didn't put this on the sheet. Do you guys all like Ole Miss? Can we just
I
say
think
that as a whole?
Josh Hubbard's really the only thing holding up Mississippi State at this point, and they ride the consistency, or I should say the inconsistency of his game. When he's on, Mississippi State looks great, and when he's not, then they get blown out, or should get blown out like we saw tonight. So when you're relying that much on one player in the SEC, it's not going to work out well for you versus Ole Miss is really kind of rounded into a pretty evenly balanced scoring attack across the board, and they get out and run in transition and score quickly on you.
Pap, Garrett, got anything, or just pick Ole Miss? And
Yeah, Ole Miss for me.
Yeah.
Ole Miss got this tough white boy named like Sean Padula.
Yeah.
Reminds me of he's just a hooper, man. Also, shout out to Luka for helping my Lakers win last night. Just another white boy out there,
Hey,
shout out Kentucky's white boys for tonight, man. They had 20 points.
Shout out to Cooper DeJean, baby.
Yeah.
Man.
That's
a big that's MVP white
First
boy
interception.
this week, man. Dude,
Pick 6.
Come on now.
I'm not. Birthday. Don't ban me, please. But in the famous words of Antonio Brown, he should have been. Did he win Cracker of the Year? He was up there in the voting. I mean,
Cracker of the Century.
Yeah. He is. I mean, the fact he got a pick 6 in the Super Bowl is.
He's Jackie Robinson.
That's pretty nuts.
All right, we're digging ourselves a deeper hole here, and we're gonna stop there. All right. The last game we're gonna talk about here for this Saturday. A little bit of an underrated matchup because I'm very surprised Illinois is not ranked. But Michigan State going to Illinois for a nice Big Ten matchup, like I said, atop of the Big Ten standings. And we actually all picked Illinois to get the upset here. Brady didn't send in his game pick, so if you're looking at the post and you're like, what the hell are these? Well, screw him. He didn't send me his game pick, so they're fillers. But he's the only one that picked Michigan State. But this is kind of... Sorry, I forgot about UCLA as a top, and Maryland are up there, too, in the Big Ten. But I actually like Illinois to get the win here. I was very surprised Michigan State beat Oregon the other night. Was it Sunday or whatever day it was? Because, I mean, Oregon outplayed them for like 37 of the 40 minutes of that game. And Michigan State got the win. So, I mean, props to them. But Big Z's brother, the other Avicic, I mean, he is a dog for Illinois. I don't even want to try and say his name. Anybody want to take a whack at it?
I don't even want to try.
Avicic, Tomislav Avicic, and then their other dude who's the leading scorer, Kasperius Jakuanis. So from Lithuania. So
Okay.
I mean, not much to be said there. I like the Europeans, man. Give me Illinois to take down Michigan State. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes.
Anybody got anything else on that one?
Yeah, Brian.
Go ahead, Pat.
I think Michigan State overall is the better team, but I think Illinois gets this one. Just inconsistency. College basketball as a whole is just such a roller coaster.
Pap, go ahead now.
Yeah, Michigan State struggles on the road. I just kind of had to shut off the TV when it was USC. Like, that's a game like I think they just have to win. And when they don't, it just kind of makes me angry, even though I don't even like Michigan State. Like, win an away game, please. And, Jace Richardson for Michigan State had 29 points against Oregon. So maybe if he becomes the guy, maybe they'll start winning some big games and find themselves in a nice little spot heading into the tournament.
Yeah. All right, with that being said, we're going to hop into the break, but I'm going to leave you guys with a question here. Do you think, we'll talk about this after the break, but do you think it is possible for the SEC to hold all 4 spots of the number 1 seeds come March Madness time? We'll talk about that after the break.
Put it in 5, I'll be outside, I'll be on the way. I'll be on the way, you can meet me in 5, I'll be on 9, I'll be on all day. I'll be on all day. Put it in 5, I'll be outside.
Hi guys, and welcome back from the break. And as our ad was just playing, Beagle Golf, go use code ASF15 to get 15% off all of your orders. Great golf clothes, hats, quarter zips, polos. It's getting to be springtime, so golf season's just around the corner. So go use that code ASF15. So talking about the question I left us with before the break, do you guys think it is possible for the SEC to hold all 4 number 1 seeds in March Madness? Pap, you're waving the finger no. I'll let you start it off.
I think it's obviously possible, but I like Duke at least one of the 1 spots there. I mean, they've been solid all year. 20-3 right now. Dropped a tough one to Clemson, but they've been tough all year. And I think that obviously SEC teams play each other. We still got a couple big teams playing each other, so they could drop one. I think Duke will separate themselves as one of the 1 seeds.
Garrett, what do you think about that?
Oh, I'm indifferent. I can see where they would put Duke because Duke's playing strong. I mean, yeah, they did just drop one to Clemson, but overall, I mean, I feel like they're playing every single night almost. Every time you turn on the TV, they're playing, and somehow, I mean, they're winning. Cooper Flag, dude, is a beast. That other dude I can't remember his name. Other guy,
Knipple.
Yeah, Knipple. Yeah. Him. He has a shot on him. So I mean, those guys are they're pretty good. But I mean, in a perfect world, I believe the SEC should get all 4. But I'm with Pep on this one. I believe Duke does find a 1 seed this year heading into the tournament.
Brian, I'm going to jump you here. I just think Duke really benefits from being the ACC, where they aren't playing as strong of competition, and the SEC does not benefit from them having to play each other and basically beat up on each other and worsen each other's records. I mean, because like Alabama and Auburn, one of them is going to take a blemish on their record come this weekend after the game Saturday, and that could diminish their chances. Like Tennessee was on the brink, but they just lost to Kentucky again. It's another quad 1 loss. So, I mean, it's that type of thing where, yes, Duke just dropped one to Clemson, but I mean, Clemson also beat Kentucky earlier in the year. Clemson then went ahead and beat North Carolina by 30 points on Monday night yesterday. So, I mean, that's what it really benefits from. I just think is there's not really any quad one games in the ACC, and the ones that there are, Duke has won all of them except Clemson. So I think that's what it comes down to. So I think Duke does get one of them, but I think Auburn and Alabama get one. And I don't know. I think Houston honestly sneaks in as the 4th 1 seed from the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys said, I think there's certainly a world that you could argue Auburn, Alabama, Florida, and I think Tennessee probably drops out now with having lost again, but Kentucky's resume or a Texas A&M who's also ranked in the top 10, you kind of have an argument for one of basically those 5 teams to potentially fill the 4 slots. But I do think Duke, unless they kind of lose out the rest of this regular season or go out early in the ACC championship bracket, I think they end up getting one of the 1 seeds. If they fall apart or something happens and they lose some games down the stretch, then it definitely opens up the possibility. But I think with how tough the SEC is, it's going to be hard for those 4 teams. I mean, Kentucky still plays Alabama and Auburn play. Florida still has to play, I think, at least one of those other 4 teams still. So they all are playing each other. Kentucky has to play Auburn too. So you've got an opportunity where those teams are going to take probably at least one more loss.
You want to hear Duke's remaining schedule? Got California, Stanford, Virginia. They play Illinois, a weird out-of-conference game in late February. And then Miami, Florida State, Wake Forest, and North Carolina. They will probably go undefeated at the end of the season. So, yeah, Duke will be one of the number 1 seeds. I mean, that's just
talk about how bad the ACC is this year.
Yeah, it's just the realism of how poor the ACC and how good the SEC and the Big Ten are this year. And, I mean, if you're really looking at it, it's really the SEC and then the Big Ten and then everybody else. It's just how college basketball is really shaken out this year. So, and
arguably it goes SEC, Big Ten, Big East, Big 12, ACC.
But it's funny though, because come March, I mean, it's almost like none of that really even matters. It's whoever's hot at the right time. And this year it's very strange because last year you could tell UConn had that. UConn was
beat every team by 20.
That's what I'm saying. So UConn was that standout favorite, but now it's like this year. I mean, people are losing left and right. I mean, there's kind of not like a clear favorite. And just to go off like schedule wise, Alabama could be easily out of that talk here soon with the schedule they got remaining. They're playing all ranked teams from here on out. I mean, that's just to show the strength of the SEC coming forward. And then plus on top of that, say they do get a 1 seed. I mean, you're still playing a hot team that maybe sneaks in there, from that last game of the season that could, catch fire coming off,
NC State
make or break.
Year.
Exactly, like a make or break, go home type of situation, and that just calls for disaster as well. So,
I mean, if you're looking at it,
everybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off what Garrett said, I mean, if you're looking at the national championship favorite right now is Auburn, but you look at their 2 losses are to Duke and to Florida, and I mean, sorry, but I'm a Kentucky fan. Kentucky beat both those teams, and then Florida also beat Tennessee, but then Tennessee also beat Florida. And I mean, it's just you can go down this list.
And they both blew each other out. Florida blows Tennessee out by 30, and then Tennessee blows Florida out by 25.
It's just like college football up until the last 3 weeks. Ohio State was absolutely just blew everybody out of the water. But I mean, it was like there wasn't like a clear cut like this is the team that's winning the national championship. Like Garrett and Pat both just said. Everybody kind of figured it was going to be UConn last year, but everybody was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be UConn because they didn't want to see it back-to-back. But, I mean, it was going to be UConn, but I mean, this year, UConn's even getting beaten up in the Big East. So, and playing into that, Garrett brought...
7, they suck.
Yeah,
terrible.
Garrett brought to my attention a very big Sunday game that I did not click over to because I forgot they play college basketball on Sundays. It's Creighton and St. John's, a Big East battle. And shout out Rick Pitino, man. I mean, he is second year at St. John's, and they're 21-3 and ranked 9th in the country.
That's a title favorite. That I'm telling you, that is a team that could sneak in there and just bully their way to the frickin' national championship.
I think there's no clear favorite. No clear favorite this year. So
the only thing I worry about with St. John's is if they get paired up against like a team like Tennessee, where they
Oh,
both
yeah.
kind of play the slugfest Rick Barnes v. Rick Pitino games from the late 90s that they used to play, and it's just like 60-58 or freaking 64-60 type of ball games, and those are where St. John's I could see them hurting. But I mean, they play the good old fashioned Rick Pitino defense where you ain't gonna get an easy shot. There's no such thing as an open shot. So I like St. John's to beat Creighton, even though how hot Creighton has been, with Ryan Kalkbrenner on the center and at Ashworth. Funny story on him. He posted a like family portrait with his wife and his kid on his Instagram. Why the hell are you still playing college basketball, dude? Let's join the workforce. There's a 9 to 5 out there for you somewhere. But I mean, I want to
Insurance
find
ain't gonna
his.
sell itself.
Did y'all ever see that college football player? I think it was from Washington University, where the dude
Yes.
comes out. He's like, I'm gonna take my talents to the workforse or something like that.
He like
Basically
put like a
big deal.
commitment, like it was like a commitment
Yeah.
post or like a declare post.
Like LinkedIn University.
Mhm. Stephen
Or something like
Ashworth
that.
will turn 25 before the season ends. So
25.
that's ridiculous. All right, so who do you guys got winning this game? You guys got Creighton. You guys got St. John's. I'm gonna roll with St. John's, staying hot at home too at MSG.
Yeah, I've got St. John's at home. I think coming off, they beat UConn this weekend. They continue a hot streak rolling and beat an also hot team in Creighton.
Pap.
I'm gonna go.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
all you,
here.
bro. That's all you.
No, I'm gonna stick with St. John's as well. They are playing really hot. I mean, both teams are playing really hot, honestly. As Creighton's beating UConn right now. I'm gonna go with St. John's though. They're playing pretty solid right now.
Give me St. John's. They the goat. I like them.
They the go. All right, so I kind of highlighted that here to last thing before we wrap up this episode. I want us. I'm gonna kind of put you guys on the spot here, but if the season ended today, I want you to give us your 4 number 1 seeds and your 4 number 2 seeds. So if anybody is like ready to jump the gun here and they want to do it, be my guest. But
all right. I can take a shot at it.
let's hear it, Pap.
All right, we
Ball's
got
yours.
4-1 seeds: Alabama, Auburn, Florida, and Duke. And then probably go 2 seeds: Tennessee, Houston, A&M. I don't know if I can still put Purdue there. It'd be tough. I'll put Purdue there. I'll put Purdue there.
Okay.
It's either Purdue or St. John's based there. Maybe Iowa State.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I'll hop in here next. My 1 seeds, I've got Auburn, Alabama, and then Duke, and then I actually like Houston to get that 4th 1 seed. I'm solely thinking from Florida's aspect because I'm really curious to see what this Alex Condon injury is from tonight. I mean, because it looked bad, and I mean he's their second best player behind, I would say their second or third best player behind Clayton. So, but then I think Florida is going to be a 2 seed. I think Florida will be a 2 seed. I think Texas A&M will be a 2 seed. Who am I forgetting? I don't know if Purdue. I think Tennessee will be 1 too. Honestly, just of their wins. But then I like Pap's thought process there. I like St. John's to win the Big East, so I'm gonna say St. John's gets a 2 seed. So as of right now, so there's my 8.
I hate to say this, but I'm kind of thinking the same way. Just looking at it, I mean, because I could see where Florida drops to a 2 seed, and then Houston, moving up to the 1 seed, and then St. John's obviously, win the Big East, basketball conference. I feel like they found a way in there, number 2 as well. But yeah, I'm going to follow you there, Andy,
Okay.
on that one.
Yeah. All right. Ryan?
Yeah, I go Auburn, Alabama, Duke, and Houston get 1 seeds. And then I've got Florida, A&M, Iowa State, and St. John's getting 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Purdue and Tennessee fall to 3 seeds.
Just like that, Tennessee to 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could all change. I mean, a team like Tennessee could make a run into the SEC tournament. I mean, but a team like Tennessee could also lose in the first round of the SEC tournament. And, I mean, brackets, I mean, March Madness is the best tournament in sports. There's no argument about that.
Now.
They're actually
one
showing
it. They got Auburn, Alabama, Duke, Tennessee right now, and the 2 seeds Florida, Purdue, Houston, and Texas A&M.
Okay. That was obviously before Kentucky just beat Tennessee again. So.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'm gonna keep rubbing that one in as long as I can. So shout out Matt Lanier.
And Alabama still has to play Kentucky again too.
Yep. I mean, Kentucky still got to play Alabama and Auburn. So
we got Auburn twice. We saw Florida. I mean, we still have a lot of people that we got to play.
And that ain't fun. So yeah, anybody?
Oh.
Right now, as we're talking, Georgia's up 9 on Texas A&M at halftime too. So keep an eye on that game as well for bracketology. So anybody got any final touches here as we wrap up our second ASF Hoops episode?
Just a quick unedited Paps pick segment here.
I'm just living like so what? I live a life of leisure, full of guilty.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All the people just sitting at home bored. Go drive yourself up to casino and go bet on black. I got a good feeling right now. And go bet like Luka 20+ points for next game because like this probably will happen. And LeBron.
It's a good one, actually. That talent.
1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, 1-800.
If Black's not hitting, if Black's not hitting,
1-800 get rich.
Okay.
Pap, I'm gonna need that in a couple weeks here when I'm in Vegas. All right.
Jared, I think statistically you should go opposite.
I can go to Central Michigan.
No, I think so too. That's what I was thinking, Ryan.
But I did like that Luka. Cooper Flag.
Luka one is good.
Sorry, I'm older than Cooper Flag.
Are you serious?
And he's gonna be getting drafted number 1 in the NBA before I even go to college.
Brother, if it tells you anything, Luka's my age right now.
Oh.
By the way, the Mavs GM should be fired.
Yeah, dude,
he shouldn't be fired. He should.
Brother,
never
Pat.
Never mind.
Just
no, I'm glad. I'm glad they upped security around there because that brother needs some security for sure.
Yeah,
I heard somebody describe that trade as like Josh Allen for Chris Jones. I thought that was a pretty good description of it.
Yeah, I think Luka's better than Josh Allen though.
Whoa.
Okay.
I mean, football is a little different just because of like quarterback, like Mahomes and Josh Allen.
That could be a pretty solid take. Actually, I could see where that could go both ways. Honestly, Luka's good.
Because like Luka and Josh Allen are your cornerstone piece of your franchise, and Chris Jones, Anthony Davis. Like Anthony Davis was a big part of success with the Lakers, but he's not LeBron. He's not the franchise. Yeah. Chris Jones isn't Patrick Mahomes. He's not the Chiefs franchise. Like he's a cornerstone piece of it, but he's not the franchise, and neither is AD. And so it's basically like
that's weird. But why would Josh go to the Chiefs, right?
Why would Luka go to the Lakers? He and LeBron technically play the same position in a sense.
Yeah, but LeBron's 40 years old. Luka's 25. Patrick Mahomes and Josh are almost the same age.
I think we can all agree the Lakers absolutely fleeced the Mavs.
I don't know how they got away with that. Dude, I don't know what to do.
The fact that the Mavs reached out to them for it. It wasn't even like the Lakers were like, hey, we want Luka. Like, what do we got to do? They called them and say, we want to give up Luka. We'll take Anthony Davis and Max Christie.
Well, especially their reasoning was that Luka was hurt all the time, but yet you trade for somebody who's also hurt all the time.
That's what I'm saying. And older. And dude, Anthony Davis goes You saw it the other night. Brother went down without
Got hurt.
getting touched.
He got hurt in the first
game
minute.
there, out 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Exactly.
Mhm.
He's kind of balling. He was actually getting hot there for a second, and then freaking a ghost hits him, and then all of a sudden
They
he's
grab it up
down.
his balls too, bro.
Yeah, dude. He goes
Someone-
out for the stupidest things though, too, that are caused that like he's out for weeks.
He jumps for a
You wouldn't
rebound. It's like, well, he broke his funny bone. Now he's out for 6 months.
I can't hate on him too much because he went to Kentucky, but someone compared a good
Yeah.
MLB one was a kind of like an aging superstar. Not that Aaron Judge is really like aging that badly, but it was kind of like a Aaron Judge for like a Bobby Witt type of trade, like a player that you know and
Ooh,
Bobby Witt
that's
that's
a good
like
one.
gonna be like the Royals player for the next 15 years and is gonna be a stud. And Aaron Judge is low 30s and getting up there in baseball age, so. I mean, that one might be a little more skewed just because, I mean, Aaron Judge just won an MVP. So, but, I mean, I liked that one too, just in comparison of, like, aging versus, like, about to enter their prime. Because, I mean, Luka's about to enter his prime. And now the Lakers have their cornerstone piece after LeBron's done.
They've got LeBron, Luka, and Bronny. Face of the franchise.
Austin Reeves just got.
Yeah, they are.
Austin Reeves is good.
Ronnie might just mess around and just become the GOAT, man. He's just inspirational.
Okay. All right, and we're ending it there. So
Yeah. That's why I take Pap's picks with a grain of salt here.
I would dump you the last time I did it. I got like 3 for 4, like 4 for 4.
Yeah. All right, so go check out all the social media pages, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, all that good stuff. Check out the merch site as well. Mardi Gras logo is up, so go get you all your stuff. So yeah, check out we'll post some clips from this podcast as well on Instagram, so check out all that. Any last notes, guys? We good? No?
Go Cats. Tennessee sucks.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll see. We'll see you guys next week for another college basketball episode, and we hope you guys enjoy watching the games. We'll see you guys later.